NXT took place tonight from its home in Orlando, Florida at the WWE Performance Center. The new NXT champion, who was crowned this past Saturday at No Mercy, Ricky Sainz, kicked off the show. He's talking about his big title win and his journey, and then he's interrupted by an unlikely opponent. That was JC Jane, who is unfortunately still the NXT Women's Champion. I thought Lola Vice should have won on Saturday. I'm no fan of JC. She's interrupting Ricky Sainz, and I'm thinking to myself, I really hope they don't do intergender wrestling because I'm really not a fan. So Ava comes out. Don't care to see her. She's awful. She makes them both team captains for NXT. Santino Marella interrupts her. And then he introduces his captains. First, Mike Santana for the men, and then the current TNA Knockouts champion, Kalani Jordan, for the woman, which I don't agree with. I actually think this was probably just going to be Masha Slamovich's position, but because of her issues, they obviously can't have her anywhere near television right now. So Kalani Jordan, I guess, is the turncoat. She's the traitor. She backstabs NXT because she's the current Knockouts champion. But it's also the big news coming out of today. And by the way, it's been a very slow news day in wrestling. But next week was going to be TNA, NXT. The joint show was going to be called Invasion, which would be NXT next week. Unfortunately, WWE changed it to NXT Showdown. It's the same matches and everything. It's just the title's different. The Invasion name should be saved for a bigger occasion, but I hate how WWE caved to a bunch of fucking losers. I'm not going to even talk about it. Fuck them. The people who got WWE change the name, who put pressure on them. Fuck them. No, fuck yourselves. Anyway, we see Lash Legend and Jada Parker heading to the ring. And then when we come back, Javon Evans talks to Leon Slater backstage. The Culling walks up to them and challenges them to a tag match. I mean, the Culling, that's just a ratings killer, man. I'm sure the CW executives, when they see the Culling on their screen, they're just, they probably have their hands on their foreheads. Like, why the fucking Culling? No one wants to see them. They're just ratings killers. It's like, go away, Culling. I like Sean Spears, but this sucks. So, Lyra Valkyria, who is always on NXT, she's also becoming a regular in NXT as of late. She goes up to Tatum Paxton and gives her a present. It's her own doll. Tatum is thrilled, and Izzy's very upset. And then we go to Jada Parker and Lash Legend. Lash Legend really isn't good. I think she's regressed. It's weird because when she was in a Metaphor, I think she was improving and think she was actually getting pretty decent. I feel like she's regressed. Jada Parker is about where she normally is. She's solid. She's good. People like her. She has some charisma. She has a personality, some ferocity to her. She definitely has an attitude, and I think that works. But with Lash, I really don't see anything with her anymore. I really thought she could have been a star several months ago, and now I'm looking, since they split up the Metaphor, I really don't see anything in Lash. Jada won with the Hypnotic, and that was it. Ricky Sainz is in the NXT locker room with a whole bunch of guys. You see Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and many others. Ricky says Javon and Miles Bourne are on Team NXT, but then Ricky argues with Trick, who wants to be co-captain. A whole bunch of shit happens. Eventually, it sets up a match between Josh Briggs taking on not Javon Evans, but Miles Bourne. Ethan Page is out next. Then Mustafa Ali comes out representing TNA. He says he spoke to Iva and Santino. He will challenge for the NXT North American Championship next week. They fight. Ali sends him to the outside, so nice to see him back. I know all that guy did was complain when he was in WWE, though. He was just bitching about everything. Every single week there was something else with that guy. Very talented in the ring, though, I have to say. So then we go to the women's locker room. We initially see Ren talking to Kendall Gray, Ren Sinclair that was, and then JC Jane walks in with Fallon Henley, and she wants Sol Ruka on her team, and then you have Lola Vice asks to be on the team. Laney wants in, Fallon wants in. They all argue. Eventually it sets up Fallon Henley and Lola Vice later tonight. We get a Hardy Boys video package ahead of their match next week against Dark State. It sucks because they went from wrestling Fraxium on, I think it was the MSG show, to you're wrestling Dark State. I mean, Fraxium, Hardy Boys is like a dream match. Dark State, Dark State sucks. They're the worst team. I hate those guys. Miles Bourne's out next. He took on Josh Briggs. So Briggs was going to use the chains to win the match, but then Matt Cardona stops Josh Briggs from using the chain. I don't know why. Why does Matt Cardona care about Miles Bourne so much? But then Miles gets the win. Matt Cardona poses with the fans afterwards. And I'm sure everyone listening knows who Matt Cardona is, but is still, I have to say it, the former Zack Ryder. Kalani Jordan talks to Jordan Grace backstage, and she wants to be on her team, but Kalani rejects, and then eventually someone says Joe's name, and I think it was written reference to Joe Silva, but eventually Joe Hendry. I think Kalani says Joe Hendry's name, and Joe Hendry appears. Then Mike Santana walks in, brings some people there, and they're trying to get some. He's trying to get some TNA woman for Kalani Jordan to put on her team. We go to Lola Vice and Fallon Henley. Okay matchup. I like Fallon, but I don't know really what they're going to do with her as of late. Really feels like she doesn't have much of a direction. She's almost becoming the third wheel of Fatal Influence, but Lola Vice gets the win here as everyone expected. We get a Dark State promo. Who cares? They preview next week's NXT Showdown show. Fuck that. We want NXT Invasion. Fuck the people who were complaining and got it changed. So we have, and I think this is in the kitchen. Or not the kitchen. It sounds bad. I think it's the catering area. You have JC Jane Fallon Henley talking, and then Lainey Reed walks in, and then she reveals that she was the one who attacks Lola Vice at No Mercy, which everyone knew it was her who attacked Lola. And, you know, when I was making my predictions, I actually predicted Lola would win because Lainey had her own match against Sol Ruca, but then when she got pulled, I kind of figured out what was going to happen. So, but she reveals it, she shows the mask, and then she takes a dig at Jasmine, and I think she indirectly reveals that she's the one who took out Jasmine last week. So, Lainey Reed, I guess, is an unofficial member so far of Fatal Influence. Javon Evans is out next, and then he's teaming with Leon Slater against the Culling. Javon Evans is great. He did a whole bunch of dives, whole bunch of big splashes to the outside. Everyone likes him. He's a good baby face, and it was Leon Slater who got the win on who pinned Shawn Spears. So on the screen, we see both NXT and TNA stars heading to the PC and arriving. When the TNA stars arrived, we saw the NXT stars confront them in the parking lot. And then we see both sides entering the PC and heading to the ring. And then we get the NXT versus TNA Summit. Both rosters are on the outside. Both sides pick their teams for the tag team match. First, it's the men. Mike Santana picks his team. And then you also had Ricky Saints pick his team. It's who you would expect. And then they go to the women. JC Jane picks her team. No surprises there who she picked. And then Kalani Jordan picks her team. And first she chooses the Iconics. I don't know what they're called now. The Inspiration. Iconics. Billy Kane, Peyton Royce. But yeah, she's the first team. And then she chooses the former Jakara Jackson, who has a new name. So she appears. I think that's the fastest someone has come back from being released in a year. She was even released. She was released. I'm sorry. I think it's the quickest appearance someone has made on WWE TV since being released, and that doesn't include R-Truth, who didn't get his contract renewed. But yeah, it was cool that Jakara Jackson was on TV. It leads to an all-out brawl, and we have a really good fight between NXT and TNA stars. I like the ending there. That was good. That was definitely the highlight of the night. Shawn Michaels walks out, looks on at all the carnage, and it was a great brawl to end the show to set up next week's NXT Showdown show, which should be called, this show, I'm just going to say it one last time. NXT Showdown next week should still be called NXT Invasion.